One round 2025 NFL mock draft with trades. Pick 1, Titans, Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami. The team with the first overall pick should always draft the best QB available, unless it's the year 2022 and unless you're Kevin Costner in the movie Draft Day. Number 2, Browns, Travis Hunter, cornerback / wide receiver, Colorado. The Browns need good PR with an Ohtani-like two-way player, so people forget about the Deshaun Watson stuff. Pick number 3, Giants, Abdul Carter, edge, Penn State. This will give Kayvon Thibodeau motivation to play very good now that he has competition for his spot. Pick 4, Patriots, Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. That will help them protect their newish quarterback that they drafted last year. Pick 5, Jaguars, Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. Based on what I've heard, they've addressed all their other positions except defensive tackle. And this would address defensive tackle. Pick 6, Raiders. No, not the interception touchdown. Jihad Day Barron, cornerback, Texas. They go with a cornerback because Pete Carroll wants to try to recreate the Legion of Boom. Pick 7, Jets. Josh Connerly, offensive tackle, Oregon. New coach Aaron Glenn wants to start building his team by building the O-line and focus on the O-line like what the Lions did when he first got there. Pick 8, Panthers, Jalon Walker, edge, Georgia. They have not drafted an edge in the first round in a while, and they do that here now. Pick 9, Saints, Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona. He's a BPA at premium position of need that they have. And they want to show that they don't get scared of their quarterback injury by not drafting a quarterback in the spot. Pick 10, Bears, Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise State. Ben Johnson wants his own version of Jahmyr Gibbs for the Bears. That's why they draft him here. Pick 11, Cowboys, not the 49ers. Michael Williams, edge, Georgia. The Cowboys continue the pattern of drafting for the D-line in the first few rounds like they have in the last few years. And also, Jerry Jones calls the 49ers and says, look, we know you want this player, but we're going to draft him right in front of you unless you give us your 5th-round pick and you switch first-round picks with us. I call that a hostage trade. And San Francisco goes like, okay. And that's what's been happening with random teams in the last couple drafts. Pick 12, 49ers, not the Cowboys. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss. They try to keep a strength as strength by continuing to add to their defensive line. Pick 13, Dolphins. Nick Emenwari, safety, South Carolina. He's a BPA on their unique depth chart. Pick 14, Colts. Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State. When is the last time the Colts have drafted a tight end in the first round in recent memory? They do that here, and he's BPA. Pick 15, Falcons, Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. I really wanted to pick an offensive weapon here because every year in the recent years, the Falcons always surprise us by drafting some sort of playmaker, offensive wide receiver, running back, tight end, or even quarterback when all we expect them is to go get edge or defensive help. But based on my research for their combine visits and their top 30 visits, it seems like they've only met with defensive player and offensive line prospects. So this was BPA at premium position for cornerback. Number 16, Cardinals, Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. Head coach Gannon is really good with the defensive schemes and stuff like that, and he gets a chess piece, which he hopes will help further confuse offenses in future games. Pick 17, Bengals, James Pierce Jr., edge, Tennessee. He's insurance in case they find a way to move on from Hendrickson. And they give Joe Burrow a little help on defense. Pick 18, Seahawks, Shamar Stewart, edge, Texas A&M. They want to take advantage of the stretch of the edge rushers that they find themselves in at this point of the draft while they still can. Pick 19, Buccaneers, Gray Zabel, offensive guard / center, North Dakota State. Jason Litch loves drafting the player everybody thought the team before the Bucs would pick, but they wind up passing on. For example, in 2023, Lions fans thought Kalijah Kancey would go to them at 18, but they passed on him, and Tampa Bay was right behind him and drafted him then. Same story last draft when Packers fans thought they were going to get Graham Barton, but they passed on him, and Tampa Bay being right behind him, they picked him up there. And this year, the Seahawks fans really think they're going to get Gray Zabel based on a lot of the mock drafts, and then they don't, and then Tampa Bay scoops him up. And that's what happens there. They love giving the team in front of them buyer's remorse. Pick 20, Broncos, Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina. They need a solid running back to set up play-action pass and to help get more explosive plays on offense. That's what Sean Payton loves. Pick 21, Steelers, Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss. They need a Kenny Pickett do-over from a couple years ago, and this is that. And what Aaron Rodgers is trying to decide is irrelevant to Pittsburgh. They are not waiting for him. They're going to draft a quarterback regardless if he decides to sign with them or not. And this is that quarterback. Pick 22, Lions, not the Chargers. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. So the Lions have too many players to pay contract extensions too soon, and Jameson Williams is one of the ones that gets the short end of the stick so that they can afford the other contracts. And so they trade Jameson Williams to the Chargers in exchange for this pick at number 22. The Lions then replace him with speedy Matthew Golden, who will be under a rookie contract for the next few years, and they won't have to worry about paying him for a while. Once again, they trade right in front of the Packers, who also had a top 30 visit and combine visit with Golden here. And they get the receiver that it seems the Packers seem to covet. Meanwhile, the Chargers get the wide receiver they need to help spread their opponent's defense to open up things for Justin Herbert and for their new running back Najee Harris. And Jameson Williams proves to be the final piece the Chargers need to win the AFC West, finally. Pick 23, Packers, Shavon Revel, cornerback, East Carolina. The Packers seem highly interested in this particular player. They seemed highly interested in a few other players, but they're now off the board, and they have to settle for drafting him here. Pick 24, Vikings. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon. They continue to build on their strength, that being their pass rush, and this helps with him pass rushing from the interior of the defensive line. This helps open things up for their edge rushers, who continue to have an even better season with Derek Harmon. Pick 25, Texans, Colson Loveland, tight end, Michigan. He is BPA at this point in the draft. And it's been a while, as far as I can tell, since the Texans have drafted a tight end this high. Pick 26, LA Rams, Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama. Quarterbacks are too valuable to pass up in the first round because of the fifth-year option, and they're just the most in-demand position. So the Rams take advantage and go for someone who is projected round 2 right here. And plus, they want a contingency plan if Matthew Stafford's health becomes an issue for them. So if Stafford gets injured again and has to miss time, then Milroe can step in if Jimmy Garoppolo is not proven to be the answer, and be of help to them there. Number 27, Baltimore, the Ravens. Princely Uman Mielelen, edge, Ole Miss. Sorry for butchering your name there. They seem to really like this guy. They had a top 30 visit with him, and he's mocked to them quite a bit. And the Ravens want to keep a strength with their pass rush, similar to the Vikings there. Number 28, Lions, Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan. Ali McNeil will miss the first part of the season, so the Lions need D-line players who can fill in for him, who can also help contain a mobile quarterback in the pocket, get past their offensive lineman opponent from the correct and proper side, close in on the quarterback, and take them down for a sack or tackle for loss without giving up any unnecessary yards. Grant can do those things because he can really stop the run and has pass rush upside. And Dan Campbell loves players who can stop the run. He really values that in defense. Number 29, Commanders, Donovan Ezearuaku, edge, Boston College. He is a BPA at a premium position here. Number 30, Chiefs, not Bills, Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State. They needed to improve their O-line after their embarrassing Super Bowl disaster with the Eagles' pass rush. So they do that here, and this is a hostage trade with the Bills for old time's sakes. These two teams love to trade with each other in the first round, and they call each other up. It's like, hey, let's just do it again. Get some, get people talking about us two teams again, and that's what happens. Pick number 31, Bills, not Chiefs. This is the other side of that hostage trade. Maxwell Hairston, cornerback, Kentucky. He is a BPA at a premium position. And finally, number 32, the Browns, not the Eagles. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. The Browns. So first off, the league does to Shedeur Sanders what it did to Will Levis 2 years ago in the draft, and lets him fall way lower than where he was projected, to teach him a lesson in humility. And then even ESPN does that thing where they do like 13% chance Shedeur Sanders is picked this late into the draft, and then the draft continues to go on and it's like 3% chance that Shedeur Sanders would have been drafted this late in the draft, and so on and so forth. The Browns take pity on him, and they trade up with the Eagles to get him while they still can get the fifth-year option on this quarterback, and they reunite him with Colorado's teammate that they already drafted earlier, Travis Hunter. And meanwhile, Howie Roseman is doing his Howie Roseman genius thing and making NFL draft trades and trading all over the day 2 area and putting on a clinic and doing what he does best. That is my round 1 NFL draft. What did you like? What did you dislike? Feel free to respectfully leave comments in the comment section. The NFL draft is this week. Gonna be pumped for it. I won't be there, unfortunately, because I got too much going on, but I'm looking forward to monitoring it. Peace.